Greetings, Total Spotfestians. It is pay-per-view review time. And you know what that means, right? We usually do one, but no, there are two to go over. We have Impact's Against All Odds, and we have NXT TakeOver in your house. This is TSL.
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee with my co-host, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
Hola.
And we are here on our special pay-per-view time. So as we say, we always do this for any the TakeOver reviews, any of the big AEW reviews, and begrudgingly the big four WWE reviews. So we're back here with a special edition of TSL. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you are listening to us on your favorite podcast channel, hey, how's it going? If you're checking us out on YouTube, you can give us a comment down below. You can always tweet us at Total Spotfest. I'm at JMoney1536. Jamie is at JFaulkner56. And we got a bunch of stuff to go over. So, yeah, we got two pay-per-views this past weekend, one from Impact, one from NXT. We got to resolve our AEW title belt controversy, which we're going to do in very short order. We're not going to get into news or whatever. We're going to save that for our regular show, but we're going to get to it. Jamie, good weekend of wrestling, didn't you think?
Oh, my. We were in for a treat. Like, all weekend. Like, it was solid.
I mean, I didn't watch Impact on Thursday because of things going on. So I had, AEW on Friday. We'll talk about AEW tomorrow night, guys. Or tomorrow, I guess, I should say. But we had AEW on Friday. I watched, Impact, and then I watched it Against All Odds, and then TakeOver. And I didn't want to throw anything at my TV like I usually do when I watch a bunch of wrestling. So it was good. It was refreshing. So Let's just get right to it, okay? Because this is our special show. You see in the middle here, we do have our pay-per-view record, and we got a giant asterisk hanging out there because on the last AEW pay-per-view on Double or Nothing, we had a tie. Our tiebreaker was a moot point. We didn't do the right tiebreaker at all.
No, we failed.
That's on us. And yes. Jamie and his daughter Meagan were in Florida with the rest of the family on vacation. So I took the executive decision since I was present and Meagan was not, that I became the belt holder for the time being. Well, we said we're going to be fair and equitable. We're going to make sure we have this. So worked it out. I gave Meagan a few options, and what was decided upon was the main event from Dynamite this past weekend. Because AEW, you gotta do an AEW thing to break an AEW tie.
Absolutely.
It's like you can't do an Impact thing to break an NXT tie. You gotta stay within the brand, right? So Meagan decided. I said, let's pick a match. I'll give her a couple options, and we'll do time because time is the fairest way to do it. Closest to, you can go over, under, doesn't matter as long as you're closest to the actual time of the match. So, the match she chose was the main event, as it turned out being, which was Adam Hangman Page and Dark Order's number 10 versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage. We'll talk about, like I said, again, our regular podcast tomorrow. But we said, let's both pick a time. So, we blindly picked the times. She picked 14 minutes on the dot. I picked 16 minutes and 43 seconds. I thought this was going to be the opening match. That's why I went longer, because I thought I was going to open the show.
Yeah.
I say that because the end time was 11 minutes and 20 seconds.
What?
Which
means, ladies and gentlemen, Meagan is your
Boop.
rating, defending, undisputed AEW pay-per-view champion.
When I come by your house to pick up my T-shirt when they come in, she's going to dig into me, and I'm not looking forward to it. 14-year-old girl just owns me in picking of the thing that I like to do in my spare time. Yes.
Well, in previous, she was a Triple Crown winner. She had all three.
She had all three. She had them for a while, at least a year-long reign, in at least two of the belts. I think that Nick's daughter won once, and then you defaulted because you didn't show up to the next. But yeah, so you see, we made the adjustment has been made. Our little scorecard in the middle here. I'm back to a big goose egg, and Megan's got Got to win on the board officially. We did the proper way, so I will give credit where credit's due. I will say it did take a second tiebreaker for you to beat me, though, Meagan. So don't begin too resting on your laurels. So that's where we're at. Now, we didn't do picks for Impact. And we're probably going to for Slammiversary, though.
There's no probably. We're going to do Slammiversary.
Yeah, Slammiversary, that's the big one. It's going to be a bonkers show. So there's a lot. That's right when, the first round of people who got, their release from WWE, the Iconics, Mickey James, although Mickey James is already producing a show in NWA. That's kind of a tip of the hat. Samoa Joe, a few others. Your cat's making noise behind you.
I know.
I don't. I can't tell with this recording if the crop is going to show up, but this cat just keeps zooming back and forth. All right,
hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine, yeah. I suggest different thing for catnip. All right,
yeah.
But we're gonna do it for Slammiversary coming up here next month. So this past Saturday was Against All Odds, so it was their kind of final tune-up before Slammiversary. For those of you not super familiar with Impact Wrestling, formerly TNA, Slammiversary is their WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So AEW is All Out. Impact Wrestling, their big one is Slammiversary. So on Thursday this past week was their go-home show, and it was very much like a good go-home show. You had a decent number of matches. It started off with a summit. So Tony Khan was there in Nashville. So Tony Khan, Scott D'Amore, and then, of course, Don Callis decided to show up in the middle of it. Not on time, halfway through. So what was decided, because Scott D'Amore wanted to add Sami Callihan to the main event, Moose versus Kenny Omega. And what they ended up coming to the solution was they're not going to do that, but to try and mitigate the elite interference from the Good Brothers have a match against Sami Callihan and a partner of his choosing. Ended up, he kind of did enemy of my enemy is my friend thing with Tommy Dreamer in a street fight. And then the main event, Moose versus Sami Callihan, is at Daly's place. So it's supposed to be separate. So that was what's come up with. And then Scott D'Amore dropped the bomb on Don as he was leaving the ring that at Slammiversary, the winner of this match, whoever won tonight, Moose or Kenny Omega, would have to face the Draw, the Death Machine, Sami Callihan.
Ooh.
So that is interesting, especially when we talk about the pay-per-view review coming up here. So that's how they started off Impact. They had a bunch of decent matches, kind of go-home matches. Rosemary beat Havoc, so it's not a triple threat for the women's title, thank God.
Yeah.
And then you had Tasha Steelz beat Kimber Lee. Petey Williams and Trey Miguel beat Chris Bay and Rohit Raju, who were in the X Division match. Interestingly enough, with that match, Ace Austin came out afterwards with his partner in crime, Madman Fulton, and all four of them. You see, Josh Alexander came out and kind of subdued and kind of held Ace Austin, while the four other participants in the X Division match beat the living shit out of Madman Fulton, because it's a five-way scramble match. So if no disqualification. So they're like, we got to beat this guy up, or Ace Austin is definitely going to win. So they kind of knocked him down a peg. And then you had, Eddie Edwards, beat Joe Doering by DQ. And then W. Morrissey just totally obliterated Willie Mack. So that was kind of your go-home, right? So Saturday then starts off Against All Odds, which for those of you unsure if you want to get into Impact Wrestling, some of their smaller pay-per-views, like Non-Slammiversary, do it is the way to do it. You go to Fight TV, they're $10. Mm-hmm. That's like 2 drinks at a bar. That's a coffee if you get one of those big fancy fuckers from Starbucks, right? Mm-hmm. So,
one less venti a day.
Pretty much, it's $10 for a pretty decent. I mean, they're always pretty good. There's always good wrestling action. So it started off with Good Brothers versus Sami Callihan and Tommy Dreamer, a street fight here. This is very entertaining. I'm a big proponent of Sami Callihan. Like I said, I like him. I know there's those that always are going to have heat for him because of the bat shot he did to Eddie Edwards. Even though it was a botch, it still was. there's still the question, was it a botch? Did he mean to do it? Did he not? No, whatever. So I like Sami Callihan. And, if you're an old school guy, you like Tommy Dreamer anyway, too.
Yeah.
This was a very entertaining match. It was, ended up Sami Callihan got the pin, him and Tommy Dreamer win. And then right after that, you had Joe Doering versus Kojima. And Joe Doering, he spent a lot of time in Japan, is very familiar. Him and Kojima had a thing going on when they were both in New Japan. Kojima, I called him New Japan's Christian Cage, or Impact's Christian Cage, because he's like one of those old school New Japan guys, been around for quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's not like Ric Flair old, but he's been around for a hot minute or whatever. But he still could bring it though. Joe Doering ended up getting the win though in that. Of course, Violent by Design represented very well tonight. After that, you had controversial moment number one for the night. So you had the X Division number one contender match. You had Ace Austin, Rohit Raju, Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, and Petey Williams. And this was the wrestling match of the night, I thought. Now, the main event was very good, but this match, if you know anything about the type of wrestling I like, this just was right up my alley.
Yeah,
it was spots
absolutely.
left and right. There was a top rope Canadian Destroyer on somebody. I don't remember who it was. There was all sorts of wicked stuff. Ended up that Madman Fulton, who we thought was subdued by the other four contenders on Thursday night, came out and then just murdered everybody. Just went to town. And even though it was no disqualification, the referee called a no contest for the match. So we don't know who's in line. I feel like they're building this to be. Here's my hope. I hope when we get Ultimate X at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
I think they're building for something, right? And Josh Alexander's long said, he's kind of that ilk, the I'll take any challenger type of guy.
Yeah.
I think there's just built for Ultimate X. Do yourself a favor, like I say, if you're not familiar with old school TNA or Impact and you don't know what an Ultimate X match is, it's basically a ladder match for flippy spinny guys without a ladder. It's great. It's so good.
It's amazing. Anyway, yeah, like
AJ Styles has been
AJ
in some
Styles
ridiculous
and
one.
Ultimate X.
Christopher Daniels. Joe has been in some. They did an Ultimate X tag match with the Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon, where they're all things they're afraid of heights, so they keep trying to use a ladder, which they're not supposed to. And it's lots of really good old school X Division matches. So I think that's what they're doing, but we'll see. We'll see how they play out. But that was definitely weird. It's like a no contest. It should, whatever. And then you had Rich Swann versus W. Morrissey, which was an entertaining match. If you like to see former big cast W. Morrissey just show off his physical prowess, because he looked like, remember when Braun Strowman was in the big feud with Roman Reigns back, where they had like the ambulance, and like before he got in there, he just would go out and just destroy people.
Yeah,
like that's how good W. Morrissey looked. He looked just, effortless. It ended, and Rich Swann did all his stuff. He did a 450 splash onto the floor. He did his finisher on him, got a 1 count. W. Morrissey, he wasn't like complete no selling. It's part of the story, right?
Yeah,
but he gained it with like 2 big power slams, then picked him up and did a running, throwing power slam. It looked like he could do like 20 more power slams. He looked great. He's physically very fit. He's got a lot of muscle showing throughout his upper body.
Yeah, he's not as soft as he used to be.
Oh, I was looking for. I thought you were gonna go salad on me there. That's what I was setting you up for.
I mean, like
you're saving that. I get you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, he is cut. He looks great. They're setting him up though. He's almost unbeatable. So I don't know where they're gonna go with that. But. We shall see. I think seeing him and Moose would be entertaining.
Oh my God,
say that
would be a fun match right there.
That would be great. Tadil Dashwood then faced off against Jordan Grace. Jordan ended up, she had her beat, and then Caleb with a K, who is, is like Jordan's like sidekick, right? Caleb, but with a K. He comes up and distracts the ref, and that causes Rachel Ellering to come over and like pull him off the apron and whatever, because he's because she had Tennille beat hard, easy, right?
Yeah.
And so Rachel Ellering comes, pulls Caleb off the side, and then that causes Jordan to get mad at Rachel, because she's like, I can do this myself. I don't need your help. And I'm not trying. She's like, no, I can. So she didn't really see what happened. She just thought that Rachel. So she's basically, I'm telling you, they're setting up this. Jordan's going to go crazy. Going to go like Chelsea Green style crazy. Well, maybe not Chelsea Green style, but she's going to go crazy, right? So Tennille ends up then getting the kind of the pull up, the rollover win,
Nice.
1, 2, 3, and it ends with Jordan Grace and Rachel walking out, and Jordan's just like losing it at Rachel. So it's a good angle for her. I am super impressed with Jordan Grace. I think she is vastly underappreciated in the wrestling community.
I love her. I think she's got a very unique look. She can go for sure. And she shows good emotion in there. She's got it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she can't do a flying, like shooting star press and shit, but that's not what her skill set's meant to be. And so she's got great character in her. So I'm very interested to see where they go with this. Okay.
Agreed.
Keep it with the Knockouts division. You had the tag team match of Fire and Flavor versus Kimberly and Susan. There's actually a good amount of comedy in this. I underappreciate, because I really do like the Su Yung version of Susan, but
Same.
I underappreciate how comically good the Susan character is. It really is. And her and Kimberly play great off each other. They're often like Deonna Purrazzo's sidekicks, so you don't really get to see it shine, but they were fantastic in this match. Fire Flavor won, and they won. It wasn't lopsided, but it definitely, you knew who was going to win this all along. This thing came out of nowhere 2 weeks ago, right? You're like, okay, but it was a very entertaining tag team match, I felt, and once again, gives me that appreciation because, like I said, I like Su Yung, and I want to see Su Yung come back, but I like this variant of Susan. She was great. Violent by Design then faced off against Decay for the tag titles. Decay being Crazy Steve and Black Taurus. Apparently, we were pronouncing it wrong. It is a Taurus. Whatever.
Black Taurus.
Black Taurus. I mean, come on. He's a Minotaur. You can call him Taurus. Come on.
Yeah.
So they used the Freebird rules. So it was Rhino, but since Joe During was in a match earlier, it was Cody Diener. And Violent by Design ended up retaining. It has good little spots. This is probably the match of the card that was, not the cleanest, I would say. It felt a little sloppy, but they can't all be bangers. Whatever,
Yeah.
Then you had Rosemary versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts title. Rosemary looked very good. Deonna had just a very good story within this. She's faced Rosemary before, and Rosemary, if you don't know, was a former Knockouts champion, and Deonna just couldn't get past her. Just couldn't get it. Everything she was doing, she couldn't go. And she wrapped her arm around a pole and then like drop kicked her on the outside. That Rosemary, that is. And so she's going after the arm because she has a double arm bar, which is her finisher. She just could not get past your Rosemary. She couldn't get her to cave in. So she had her in some sort of submission maneuver or whatever. And then she kind of abandoned it, still held her down with Rosemary being face down. And then she undoes her knee brace from her, she has ACL. A lot of women wrestlers have bad knees. Unfortunate stereotype, but it's true. She undoes her knee brace then and then goes out to town, goes to work on her knee, ends up getting her big finisher into the double arm bar. Boom. She retains. But it was a very good use of the storyline. I'm still waiting. I'm ready for them to move to do Taylor Wilde versus Deonna Purrazzo. I think that's what the plan is for Slammiversary. because it feels like Deonna Purrazzo is just kind of there,
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna be Taylor Wilde to get it then? It feels like it, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
feel like that. I don't know though, because here's my thing. I look at their knockout division. I don't know who else would be poised to take the title from her. They've moved Tenille into a different feud, right? Because I would have said Tenille before, but they're both heel characters, and Rosemary and Havoc. They're definitely setting them up to go into a tag division thing, right? Jordan Grace, I could see, maybe she could be, her like breaking off, and that's like a shoot for. But once again, that'd be more of a heelish character. I think it's Taylor Wilde, unless they have bigger plans for like Chelsea Green or something like that coming in.
That's like if it's not Taylor Wilde, Chelsea Green's got to be the play.
Well, Chelsea Green's. I mean, it's almost certain that she's going to be at Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a given, And I look at it, if they're bringing the Iconics, well, they're not going to be. That's a tag team. They're a package. So I don't know who else would really be that person. I would say maybe Ruby, hey Ruby, or Heidi Lovelace. That's probably.
August. Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be a while because she just got released, and I think it's got to be Taylor Wilde. So biggest show of the year. That's my guess.
Yeah, it feels like Taylor Wilde or Chelsea Green.
I think Taylor Wilde, but then Chelsea Green makes her appearance at the end of the match, no matter who wins.
That would make a lot of sense.
That's what I'm thinking of. 'Cause I don't know when exactly their no compete is. If it's right before, if it's like a week or two before. And remember, Impact does they do their tapings in bunches because they're still not live yet. So they do their taping in bunches. Well, even when they're live, they do their taping. So they'll do like 3 or 4 weeks in like a 2-day stretch.
Yeah.
So. That's why Taylor Wilde hasn't been on for the past few weeks, because they don't have a feud for her right now, and they did the tapings a little bit. Anyway, we'll see where they go. But I feel like there is a direction we need to go there, because Deonna Purrazzo's held this title for like a year now almost, and it's like, okay, it's kind of like with Io Shirai. You don't want to see her just drop it, but you want to see a move into a feud that you could believe that she could drop it, and she does eventually.
I know. Like, I'm already looking forward to Raquel Gonzalez losing it, like, next week. Just for the record.
Quick spoiler for TakeOver coming up here in a few minutes. We'll talk about that when we get there. So the final match of the night was at Daly's place with the kind of the NXT extras. It was shot previously, because it still had the Double or Nothing setup, which if you watched AEW from this past week, they're back to their normal Daly's Place set with the 2 tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
So you could tell it was shot a week ago or so. So I don't know if that means anything. Moose's contract's supposed to be up, but we don't know. But anyway, it was at Daly's Place. It had Tony Schiavone on commentary. Tony Schiavone with Scott D'Amore, and then, of course, Don Callis came out. Justin Roberts was there as your announcer, but you had Brian Hebner as the ref, of course. But you had Justin Roberts doing the full Kenny Omega, North Carolina, and then the reigning AAA champion, TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and the Impact, the current reigning and greatest Impact champion of all. I mean, the full Justin Roberts regalia. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
And it was good to have some fans there because I believe Slammiversary is going to be the first fans for a TNA event. I don't think they're doing live shows with fans at all before.
No.
I have not heard that.
No.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this was the first time they actually it was the AEW extras, but still it was somebody in the crowd. Mm-hmm. And this match was entertaining. Moose, we're very high on him athletically. The storyline in the match was going very well. It was a decently long match. It was close to 20 minutes. So it was a decently length match. And then it ended up, though, at the very end. You can go check it out on the replay. You can go to Impacts and watch most of this match anyway on the highlights and stuff. Lots of good stuff. You had Moose doing a Spanish Fly from the top rope. Kenny Omega doing all his hits.
Yeah.
It was me and Spanish Fly. So I love that. So it ends though with Hebner getting distracted or he gets knocked off somehow. I think it was like Kenny pulled him in front of him when Moose was coming to do a lariat or something or another, and or flying whatever, and ends up knocking him out for a hot second, which meant that you had the interference of the Young Bucks because it was at the AEW facility.
Yes,
so they come out and they do super kick party and BTE trigger on Moose. They then, this is a little side note, they then go to the camera and Matt goes, "Oh look, it's Max and Jeremy Buck." Max and Jeremy Buck were the names of Generation Me from TNA Wrestling.
Yeah. I remember
It was a dig, and like the subtlest little bit that like you could make you think that it was actually continuity because that's what they were called in TNA. So it was funny. And then of course, drag over the ref. They literally pick up Brian Hebner and plop him down next to Kenny Omega on top of Moose. 1, 2, 3. He retains. And then is when the fun stuff started, okay? So this is the other shocking moment of the night, if you would. So after the match is over and they're beating up Moose more or whatever, blackout, you hear Sammy's like, do-do-do-do-do-do, the Morse code thing coming on. You see the ICU thing. Sami Callihan standing there in the ring with a bat in hand. And, does the bat hits with the to both the Young Bucks and then to Kenny Omega, and then that causes, because the past few weeks Don Callis keeps going on how Sami Callihan's a maniac, a crazy person, he's blacklisted, he's on Tony Khan's blacklist, all this stuff, right? So he comes out from behind the announcer's table because Sami goes down and gets a chair and is putting it up. Kenny's like face down on the mat. And he puts the chair on top of Kenny very much in the same way of the not botch, whatever shot he did to Eddie Edwards. Because if you're not familiar with it, when you unfold the chair, you have those crossbars on the legs. And so he basically puts it on there so that one of the crossbars is across the neck. And the thought is, because you hit the seat of the chair and it makes it look like, oh, he almost broke his neck, right? Well, when he did it, he didn't hit the chair and hit the tip of the bat right on the back of Eddie Edwards' skull, cracked it open.
Mm-hmm. It was bad.
That's what happened if you're not familiar with it. I don't recommend Googling it. It's not pleasant to watch. He was setting up Kenny Omega for the same spot, right? And so Don Callis is like, you can't do this. I'm an EVP. I'm your boss. Don't do this. So he gets out of the ring, but he gets the chair and he comes back in and he goes, oh, okay. You're fires him. Don Callis, who's storyline-wise is not officially anymore behind the scenes, but storyline-wise, he's an EVP for Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Fired Sami Callihan, who's in the main event Slammiversary right there. Now, it's kayfabe for sure because, there's no way, right? He's definitely good. They're definitely playing that angle, but it's very well done. It was very entertaining. If you follow Sami Callihan on Twitter or anything online, he is playing into this wonderfully. He's like, I don't care if you fire me. I'll see you on Thursday. Apparently, he got unfollowed by Impact Wrestling's Twitter account. So,
perfect.
They're doing good stuff there, so they're setting him up. So that was Against All Odds. A pretty good pay-per-view. I would give it probably a squash fest if I had to give it a grade. Right in the middle there. I mean, just because it was a little bit predictable. It's the setup pay-per-view before their big one. So there wasn't no titles changed hands. I didn't expect anything. I literally, if we did picks, I would have had 100% because all these matches were very well. No, I would have missed the X Division. That's a little weird. I don't know what they're doing with that.
That is weird. That just feels like a huge letdown.
It was, and that match was probably the most entertaining wrestling match of the night, I would say. But there were some ups. Some of the matches kind of felt a little like, like Rosemary versus Deonna Purrazzo. I couldn't really get up for it, but it was an enjoyable enough match. But for $10, it's well worth it. So that was Against All Odds.
Nice.
So we're going to go. Jamie's going to walk us through TakeOver in your house. You see in the middle between us here, we do have our picks. We do not have our young boy, just in case anybody's wondering. Nick's taking some time away. He's got some other things going on. He's got some big stuff going on in his life. I don't want to spill the beans, but it does involve, buying a gift and attending an event with a cake. So he has that happening. He has to prepare for. So Young Boy's not going to be with us for a hot minute here. So I have just myself, Jamie, and Megan, as you see right here in the middle. We are going to go through our picks. Jamie will give you the pick of who it is before. And then where we stand, you'll see the updated numbers, of course, as always. And we do have a tiebreaker. If it comes to that, we will talk about that at the end. So, Jamie, let's shift gears to TakeOver.
All right, so with TakeOver, it only had 5 matches, which
That's a light card.
is
No
a
matter how
really
you
light
slice it.
card. Yeah. So we were expecting like really long matches, and it got done at like 9:30. It started at 7:30. It's barely 2 hours.
I did read something last week, like Thursday or Friday of last week, that WWE is mindful about trying to make shorter pay-per-views. I thought that meant more main roster-ish, but yeah, I guess maybe this played into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
FYI.
2 nights of WrestleMania, and both of them are 4 hours each. No, thank you.
Oh,
No,
it's,
thank you.
yeah. Right.
All right, so this thing honestly kind of starts off with a banger. No, it is a banger, 100%.
Oh, before you get into it, fans? Talk about fans?
yes. Instead of just having
300 fans.
yeah, and just instead of just having tens of fans, now they officially got up to 300, and those 300 from also they were not letting all of them in. They had enough seating for 500, and they only let 300 in.
Which surprises me a little bit, just knowing WWE and their whole stance on things in the COVID world. But I
Yeah.
did appreciate that somewhat.
They turned fans away, and
which is good sign for NXT. To be
Yeah,
honest with you,
okay,
because their numbers aren't great on TV.
it is. But
that's
the
good.
thing is like a lot of them are family and friends. So
A good number of them were, but not 300 worth. That's
No,
the thing.
no.
Before, it pretty much was a lot of family and friends. This
yeah,
is you had,
I would say a
this is-
solid third was family.
and I'm excited because there's a lot of people on this card here. We don't actually know what the reception is. We have opinions about these different characters. Nick made mention about the whole Karrion Kross thing, and I'm like, Karrion Kross has never been in front of an audience in NXT. How's he going to go over? We'll talk about that. The Cameron Grimes thing. You can't stand him. You swear nobody likes him. How would the fans actually, MSK, do they actually like that? A lot of these things, Legado del Fantasma. So I was excited just for the night in general to see what the response would be. Very much like Double or Nothing had a full house, and we could actually get this is a lot more because these storylines have been in the oven for a bit. How are they actually going to be received? So, sorry, I just want to talk about that. Go back to you. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts off with MSK and Bronson Reed versus Legado del Fantasma for a winner takes all title match of the NXT Tag Team Championships and the North American Championship. So we all agreed it was MSK and Bronson Reed who's going to take this thing down before we get to this match. And speaking of fans, I will say this. MSK and Bronson Reed are over.
They got
the pop.
a lot of pop. Yeah, they did.
As much as it pains me, they probably got the second best pop of the night.
I know.
I wish it was number 1. So this match was really good. Had a lot of everything. My favorite part was honestly Bronson Reed just absolutely murdering Phantasmo just at one point. Just damn near killed the guy.
It was Santos Escobar.
Santos
Yeah,
Escobar. Sorry,
rest in peace, Escobar. He got monster squished into the.
It was bad. Yeah,
It was like the squish he did a couple weeks ago, except the wall gave way, and it looked fantastic. It was so good.
So it had lots of good stuff. MSK did their typical MSK stuff. Everybody looked pretty good, but the thick boy, he did his thing start Colossus.
I still like Thick Boy.
I do
and
too.
If they had that shirt, in my size, still, I would buy it tomorrow. But
Well, I feel like they're kind of going back to it because of his alliance with MSK, because it kind of fits.
I hope so.
It kind of fits.
They had matching outfits. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on.
And
Thick Boy.
Okay, so as you can tell, the way we're talking, MSK and Bronson Reed retain. But I do want to call this out. I forgot to say this before. I love the set. It reminded me of the OG In Your House set.
It did. And more than last year. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause it was not that dissimilar from last year's.
It just felt exactly like it was, because it was like just a base stage and everything, instead of having like the grass and everything, because the very, very first In Your House didn't have all that stuff. Like like the third or fourth iterations had more of it. Like they did version 5 of In Your House for version 1, and now version 2 is version 1. Like
right.
Like,
and they had all sorts of little like Easter eggs throughout the night. Like Beth Phoenix was wearing a suit very similar to I think it was what Lawler was wearing.
Yes,
I couldn't remember.
Yes, it was the Lawler suit.
They had what was the guy with the hat and the go? You know, he was I don't remember, but the beard and the guy with the weird hat. Anyway,
yes,
one of the guys from the 90s was there. They had Pendergast, the guy who was the host for it. He was back.
Yes,
doing awkward 90s style like references the whole
videotapes.
I'll run out to the truck. It was funny. It was cool. One last thing about MSK and Bronson Reed. I do like how when he went to do his tsunami from the top rope at the very end, which is how they won.
Yes.
He gave this squeal as he was going through the air. I was like, I love that. That's great.
Like he's having fun, like a wee. Yeah.
Wee! Yeah. If you hadn't heard it, go watch a highlight of it. It was great.
It was. I enjoyed the shit out of that match. I thought it was great.
Banger to start for sure.
It was definitely, it set the tone for the rest of the night, and I want to call it match of the night, but I can't.
I won't. But I loved this match very much.
No,
everybody in this match, I have a lot of respect for. I've gotten into all 6 of these characters. Most definitely.
So after this, we get the women's singles match of Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li, and okay, so this I have to call this out. Xia Li she's more shredded than Julia Sao.
That's what you're holding it for. Okay,
she is
all right.
Just magnificent.
She looks great. Her hair was a little.
I enjoyed her hair. I enjoyed it.
It was cool. She had a lot of the fake dreadlock things, right? And they got in the way of her. She had her like into the Badlands sword that she was using her thing with at the beginning, and she almost cut like 3 of them off.
Yeah,
so there's that.
I enjoyed the hair because it looked cool. Good. It's I don't know if it's her though. Like that's the thing. Like I don't feel like it's her character.
I think a couple of them cool, but like having all that, it's almost like cyberpunk. It's like okay, that's it doesn't really whatever.
Yeah. So this match had very little Martinez and a lot of Xia Li. So Xia Li gets
Martinez did start the offense of the match. But
yes. Yeah. Mercedes Martinez came out hot, and then it quickly turns. Like no. So Xia Li does end up getting the win, doing her super roundhouse spinny kick thing. I don't know if they've actually given it a name yet, other than it's just amazing.
It's very similar to Kofi Kingston's
Trouble in Paradise.
Trouble in Paradise. It's a little bit different, but it looks like similar.
It's almost like a disaster kick without the off the rope piece.
Yeah. It's a good looking thing.
Yeah, it looks great. Then afterwards,
it fits her so good.
Yeah. Then after that, Boa handed Lee a chair, and she was gonna go hit Martinez. Martinez knocks the chair out of her hand. It gives Martinez enough time to recover, and then she's able to get away. And here was it Mei Ying?
Mei Ying, yes. And I'm gonna I want to talk about that after you're done explaining, but go ahead.
Okay, so then Mei Ying gets up and grabbed her by the throat, and then she did the Ming claw to her face. So it's not Mei Ying, it's Meng. That's why I'm calling her Meng Ying. And she did that on Martinez, and Martinez was left in a...
Well, she threw her against the wall.
Yes.
She threw her off the ramp. The ramp again was one of those where it goes up right up to the ring, right?
Yes.
She did it once, and Martinez broke it. Then she did it again and tossed her, and she flipped over onto the top part of the wall and slid down. Looked great.
Yes. So that was the match.
Here's my question. Here's my thing for you, because I dogged on this whole thing when they first made the switch from the whole triad angle to this mysterious whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I dawned on it for a while. I've gotten over it because I do really like Xia Li, and Boa's fine in how is I'm cool with it, whatever. So she's apparently my Ying, and I thought she was Tian Sha, but apparently they're Tian Sha. And
Yeah, they're Tian Sha together. Yeah.
But it was her, was Tian Sha. I know for a fact they were calling her Tian Sha.
They've changed it.
It's just like, don't, I can't. I like, wait a minute, I'm confused because I thought that was Tian Sha. They're like, my Ying. Who's my Ying? She's my Ying. No, they're. I mean, you swerved once on the whole like triad thing, and now something else. The old smoking guy, right? They had the guy with the old guy, and he's nowhere to be. Stop changing it. Pick a lane and stay in it. Just pick a lane.
It's the time variance authority has shown up and adjusted the timeline.
I haven't watched that yet. I'm watching it after we're done recording. When everything's processing tonight, I plan on watching that.
Okay. That's all I gotta say.
Though. Please don't. Yeah, don't give me anything else on Loki. For those of you who haven't watched it, don't worry. No Loki spoilers.
Other than it was pretty solid.
Pick a lane. Pick a lane. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So it seems like they're finally doing something with Meng Ying is what I'm calling her still. I feel like they're gonna end up making her and Xia Li a tag team at some point, even though she's supposedly some 1,000-year-old entity. I don't know. I'm still confused on her part.
See.
Xia Li is doing great. She's showing tons of passion. She looks amazing. I like her. I like her a lot.
I mean, if a face gets the women's title, I could see Xia Li going against them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But then I can also see if they do want to take Miley and make her a thing. If they do the Io Shirai and Saray thing, you've got a Far East tag team battle that's just going to be stellar. But
yeah,
China
versus Japan. Let's make it happen.
I kind of like her going more towards a singles role, though. But I don't know. I have no idea who this Mei Ying is or Taishan or whoever the hell she is. I don't know. All we see her do is
whatever.
All she does is the Ming Claw. So whatever.
Yeah. All right, so then let's just roll right into the next match. Match of the night candidate. That's all I gotta say.
It was, and I know I don't pain you to say that, but we're gonna be subjective for a hot minute before you get into your gripes, okay?
So it is LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes
for the ladder match for the $1 million belt.
For the ladder match for the $1 million belt, and both these boys got pops.
They did, but Cameron Grimes, but LA got a lot of heat too.
Yeah,
not bad heat, good heat.
Yeah.
Good heat.
I'm okay. So his pop was the heel heat that you'd expect him to get from the way he's been, and it's perfect.
Right,
it was the fans are into his character, and
he's over.
And then this Cameron Grimes thing drove me nuts. It has drove me nuts. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. But man, this match was great.
And who got the biggest pop probably of the night on the whole show? It's okay. I'll say this since you don't want to.
Yeah,
it was
Johnny
Cameron.
Gargano.
Well, Adam Cole got a big pop.
He did too. But his music's terrible.
We'll talk about that. There's words to be had. Cameron Grimes. Like I said, you're saying nobody likes this. You're the only one, JJ. You're the only one. I'm not the only one. To the moon chance. Cameron Grimes is over officially.
With 300 people. Okay? 300.
If there's 500 people, he would be. You don't get your tinfoil hat off. Stop being a flat earther. WWE did not strategically plant 300 Cameron Grimes fans in here.
I've seen them do crazier.
Right, and vaccines make you Magneto. Apparently, stop it.
I mean,
it's okay. You can still hate him. You can hate somebody. I don't mind if you hate him, Jamie. I actually kind of like that you hate him. There are those of us who do like him. I think he's funny. I like his ability in the ring, And I know he's gonna have a downfall. I think that's part of the reason why. It's like there's no way this character is gonna forever be like this. He is going to have a downfall. It's gonna be even funnier. I just like it. He's a comedy. He's got good comedy, but he can back it up. He can wrestle.
Yeah, he can wrestle. And this match was effing.
This was
brutal.
so much. It was so much better than the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. The Devlin versus Escobar.
Oh, yeah. Way better. This is what you think of when you think of NXT ladder matches.
Or a ladder match. You think this was it. This was great.
Yeah, typically, I mean, let's just put it into perspective. The real first real ladder match of Razor Ramon.
The first ever was Razor Ramon. And that was the first one that I think that literally.
That's the first ever televised ladder match.
I think that literally was the first ever ladder match, to be honest with you.
I thought they've had other ones, but not with the.
I'm pretty sure that
not with anything suspended.
I thought that was the first one ever, but regardless, it's the grandfather.
Yeah, like that is the one that set the bar. Like this is what it has to be.
Well, and then you follow that up with you have Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
Then you have all the crazy shit from TNA and Ultimate X. Then you have even NXT like that inaugural North American title 6-person ladder match.
Oh my god!
One of my favorite matches of all time by far.
Yeah, and then don't forget
the bar's high.
The Money in the Banks that they used to have at
Money
WrestleMania.
In the bags.
Yeah,
so
those were
the
best
bar
Money
is
in the Banks.
the bar is off the charts. You're not
so
wrong.
then the Escobar Devlin was definitely it was a miss comparatively. It was still a good match, but it was a miss.
Some good spots, but
yeah. Now this one it delivered.
Did not miss.
Hands down. It had damn near everything you'd ever want in a match. Like people going through ladders, like you name it, it had it probably. Like
and there was fantastic selling. LA Knight he is so good with the crowd. That's why I like LA Knight too so much. That he's got that. Oh, you like him? How about you meet him? And throws Grimes up into the glass right in front of somebody. And so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Like one of my favorite spots was when Grimes he did that release German suplex into a ladder. That was one of my favorites. And then Knight got his revenge doing a neck breaker onto the side of a ladder, right? Like right after.
I thought for sure he paralyzed his ass because that was
it looked nasty. Yeah.
Grimes, he was going to slide it into LA's balls because he was sitting in the corner with his legs open. He misses, he stands up, and then he hits him, and then does a net breaker, turns around on him onto the side. Oh God, it looked stiff.
So towards the end of the match, there was a spot where Knight got Grimes off, and then he was trying to throw him over the rope, and then Grimes actually basically hurricane Knight off to the end, off to the side. Mm-hmm. So here it's Cameron Grimes' moment. I see it. I'm like, God bless America. I'm going to buy a damn shirt. and he just goes up. He goes up. He goes up. He goes up. I'm like, oh my God, here it happens. The next thing you know, LA Knight shows up and tips the freaking ladder forward. So Cameron Grimes goes over the top of it and lands on another ladder and breaks the ladder. And I'm like, oh my God, that is like a nasty spot. Like, oh,
it was a ladder set up on the outside ramp and then another ladder connecting it to the second rope. Yes. And he went over the rope on it was. Here's the thing is because there's a lot of time in this match. LA Knight was definitely LA the builder. He was building things.
Yeah.
He was the designated you set them up guy. I think you could tell between the two of them that he wrote out a lot of this match because he was definitely the guy setting everything up, right? He was making sure the ladders were going in the right places. Cameron did too, but it was more LA. And every one that he set up, it was used in some capacity. And that one wasn't. And I go, whoever gets up on that left side of that ladder is losing the match. They're going to go through that ladder. I saw Cameron go up, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. So after that, Cameron Grimes goes over, lands on that. Here comes LA Knight, grabs the $1 million championship, and your new champion is LA Knight of the $1 million championship. That means
LA Knight. No T-shirt for Jamie.
No T-shirt for Jamie. Oh yeah, by the way,
now,
sorry,
right now.
we forgot to go over our picks for this.
Oh, we did.
We actually kind of
it's kind of predictable. If anybody knows us at all, you can already guess the picks. But
yeah.
Yes.
So JJ picked Cameron Grimes. Meagan and we both picked LA Knight. So now,
I'm gonna give you a spoiler. Jamie and Megan picked all the same things.
Yes, we picked the exact same things, which really sucks.
Well,
for me
we'll
'cause
see.
it came
We'll
down to time.
see. We'll see.
Yeah. So. That's the
So
only
you guys,
way I'm gonna lose or win is based on time with Megan.
Unless I win. Now,
yeah.
But I lost this one here. This would have given me that leg up on you guys.
Yes. So right now, Megan and I are 3-0, and poor JJ is 2-1.
I just got the 2, but it was like I said, I'm glad you enjoyed the match because I loved this match. I thought it was great, fantastic. Not the best match of the night, but definitely right below it, in my opinion.
I've said before on record that the guy can wrestle. Okay?
He can definitely wrestle. You hate his character. You hate the shtick.
I hate the shtick.
Cool. That's fine.
I wish he would just shave his God bless him his
Some of us are hairy. Get over that.
I get
okay?
it, but like
right.
if he's rich, maybe he could shave like a heart into it. Something like that would be hilarious. Like if he
shaved a dollar bill sign out of it, that'd be great.
Yes. Absolutely. Like, okay, they're like, gotcha. Okay.
All right. Well, he's got work to do, and don't worry. It's not like the belt's now retired. He's got plenty of opportunity to get it back. So don't clear out that cart quite yet on WWEshop.com, Jamie. One of these days, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. No, it's going away. So then after this, we have the women's NXT Championship of Ember Moon going against the champion of Raquel Gonzalez. Ember Moon got a decent small pop and legit crickets for Raquel Gonzalez.
It was not a good look.
Like
it's a shame because I do like Raquel.
I do too, but she is not ready. She doesn't have a personality. She needs a mouthpiece.
Well, they okay. In my humble opinion, they botched it by moving her into the. It was obvious that she was going there once she got rid of what's her face, the Raw Women's Champion now, Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah.
After she ended that whole feud, it was obvious that she's the next one that's going to be in line for the title. I think they should have kept her and Dakota in the tag pictures. They won the inaugural one. It was a great moment. They got the titles. Everyone was happy for them. And then lost it that same night. And then immediately that same night, she's going for the I just don't think it was done right. I think that anyway, that's my thought.
She's strong. She's got a good look. She's
got
wrestle.
all. She's just not over. And it just. Do you feel like this is a sidebar here? But do you feel like this night was with the fans, even though it was like a test audience, if you would? But you think it was a litmus test of like let's see if this Cameron Grimes thing is actually over. Let's see if MSK is as over as we think. Let's see if Karrion Kross. Let's see if Raquel. Do you think it was a little bit of a litmus test?
I think so. And to that point, like Raquel Gonzalez got the worst reaction of the night, and that's nothing. Like, and that's the worst. You want some kind of reaction, no matter what, one way or the other, and she got nothing. And I feel
hate
bad.
To say it. I do too, because I do like her. I hate to say this, but I did make my dinner during this match. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know.
No, trust me. I was grilling hot dogs and chicken during this match, like for real. Like I was out doing that. I'm like, oh, okay. So this match was okay. Moon went for the Eclipse, and this is dumb. And I'm like, how did they not get rid of Dakota Kai at this point? Because Dakota Kai was on the side. So Ember Moon hits Raquel.
A very good looking Eclipse. I did see this. A very good looking. For one thing, I will say Raquel is the perfect size to take an Eclipse well.
Yes. So she
help.
takes it really well, and then Ember Moon rolls her up, and out of nowhere, here comes Dakota Kai and puts her foot up on the rope, and she breaks the hold. But previous to that, Ember Moon did have Raquel Gonzalez in a submission, and Dakota pushed the rope to her to get to her hand, and the ref saw her. I'm like, that's a perfect opportunity to get rid of her right there, and they didn't. It's like, okay, evidently she's gonna screw this match. Like, no way in there's no way in hell that Ember Moon had a fair shake at this. And then after she won, this is what you heard. Yay.
That was it. Now they did get rid of Dakota by having Shotzi surprise comeback. She's not a serious injury. We know that she's not out for months, but Shotzi came out and then they went and they brawled up and she ended up throwing her in the flower bed and they went backstage. That's how they got rid of Dakota. But it's
yeah. So Shotzi came back, but the match was just
It came out of nowhere, this feud. All of it. Like I said, I gave the internet rumor that I heard last week. And the more I think about this, the more I'm in love with the idea that you turn Dakota face. She turns on Raquel because Raquel's not over. Have her and Dakota is. Have her turn on Raquel, go back to her team kick style personality, get the belt. And then as soon as she gets the belt, she gets jumped by Tegan Knox, who turns heel. That would be great because Raquel, as much as we like her, she needs somebody else to propel her along because she just can't carry by herself.
Yeah, she needs a manager. But the thing is, unfortunately, right now, NXT does not have good managers. Like, really.
I mean, Bevan's doing jack shit. I mean,
yeah,
somebody. I don't know.
She's not going to be part of the Robert Stone brand. That's for damn sure.
Well, they're buried as shit.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Aaliyah?
I don't know. Not soon enough. I like Aaliyah.
I saw her on Instagram. She's riding a horse. She's pretty.
Fair. I do not. Right, Jen? Good
call.
So anyway, no, it was okay. So technically, it was a good match. Everything, it had all the good things you want in a match. It just didn't trip my triggers. You know what I mean? Like it just felt out of place.
It's like I said, not every match on every pay-per-view is going to get you all the way there. That's fine. That's okay. This didn't do it for either one of us.
Yeah.
There are a couple announcements before the main event. You going to go over those announcement things?
You can. Go for it.
Okay. So, well, first of all, there was great little vignettes, like I said, with Pendergast the whole time through.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, that
he
was
just
great.
asked Dexter, so I had to write this down here. How are the women treating you these days? And Dexter breaks off his rocket robot off of the toy and is like grasping it, staring at it. He goes, okay, you win. So keep it strong on the index. There's lots of index things. We'll talk about that later this week, because hopefully this week on NXT there's some good stuff, but index things going on. Then they announced the next takeover, which is not really takeover, but the next event, let's call it.
Yes.
For NXT. It's going to be the Great American Bash. I'm bringing back the name for sure. Going to be on July 6th. And the part that got me, that's a Tuesday, so it's gonna be like they do, not all of their big events or shows. It's very similar to like how like AEW's first 4 shows, live shows, are going to be Fighter Fest, Bash at the or Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah.
But they're going to be the actual like weekly shows. That's what this is going to be as well. But the interesting thing, did you see the logo they had for the Great American Bash?
With the star with the lines through it?
It had, no, it wasn't quite like that. It was just Great American Bash, you said, in the Americana theme, like you said.
Yeah.
But behind it, it had the crown from the Statue of Liberty.
No, New York.
And I'm like, does that mean I am probably reading way too much into this? But is it possible they're going to start touring next month? Everybody else is touring in July.
Well, they did show a whole bunch of dates. Did you see that for WWE Live? But then they did show some NXT talent there too. It's like,
Well, they said they're going to do the whole North Florida circuit, 200 to 400 room arenas, small venues. And supposedly that's for actual NXT live shows, TV shows.
Yeah, because they don't have Full Sail anymore.
Right. And they're cool with that. And and they wanted to, before the pandemic happened, they wanted to get out of Full Sail. They wanted to get on the road because they said that that's part of what was hurting them in the ratings. I don't think that was. But, I think AEW just had a product people wanted to see. It's different,
Yeah.
And apparently that, it's just a thought. Like I said, I saw it and it made my brain turn because I'm like, are they going to do, that's going to be the start? They're going to do, so we'll see. We'll see if it comes out. But I just saw that. I thought, interesting, right? Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm probably reading too much into it.
Maybe. We don't know. We'll find out. All right, so let's get to the main event of the evening.
This was match of the night, by the way. No spoiler needed.
It was number 2 for me.
Oh, so this is my match of the night. Okay.
I'm gonna give Cameron
You give
Grimes
the ladder match?
his due.
Wow.
Yes, that was a hell of a
Mark
match.
your calendars, folks. Wow. Okay, well, this is my match of the night.
All right,
I'll tell you why.
so we have Pete Dunne, who is in all white. I like it when he wears his all white and he doesn't have the splotchy spray tan. He did not have the splotchy spray tan. So that's nice.
He did, his tan looked much better.
Yes. Cool guy, Kyle O'Reilly. Not looking like a complete tool, so that was kind of nice. We had Adam Cole coming out to a variation of his music that was terrible.
First of all, Adam Cole, biggest pop of the night, I think.
Hardcore. Everybody loves Adam Cole, baby.
Still got the boom, still got a baby.
Yep.
It was great. Is a mixture of, is kind of a playoff of his old Ring of Honor theme mixed with the melody of the Undisputed Era thing.
Yeah.
And it's neither, and so it doesn't work. It's just,
He should have just kept the Undisputed Era music because it's his.
I mean, Roman did that when the Shield broke. The Shield music became Roman's music.
Yeah,
you
Roman
know?
got new music, but I think they went back to the old music because they were making.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't watched it because
Yeah.
I fucking. But no, they could have just, like I said, they did that for Roman though. He kept the Shield's music as his music. You can keep whatever.
Yeah. So then after that, Johnny Gargano comes out. And Johnny Gargano.
I text you about this before the show happened.
Yes.
I saw something on Twitter. I was like, if this is true, Jamie's going to fucking fanboy out.
So if anybody knows me, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels guy. Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, period. I mean, I know he's like a cross-eyed old man, but I do not care. He comes out in the original, like, In Your House, red and mirror.
Red studded
chain.
In Johnny Gargano
thing.
style, not a complete ripoff, but in Johnny Gargano style.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano, like, shirt style, but it was totally just like Shawn Michaels. And then when he gets in there, he does the turn, and he's doing the whole thing just like Shawn Michaels used to do back in the day.
He had zebra print with the red, on his knee pads and on his trunks, and yes,
it was perfect.
The way he actually put up a whole a series of tweets where it was them dressed up. Now the other ones weren't on the actual pay-per-view, but they had They also had banger outfits. Austin Theory was Diesel,
of course,
old school Diesel.
Of course,
he had the tank top with the shades, and then Indy and Candice both had Razor Ramon themed from the In Your House when Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid were a tag team on the very first one.
Yeah,
so they had that variant, the same color, purple with the leopard print and stuff. It was great.
Oh, I'll have to look that up on Twitter.
For what it's worth, if you don't like the way, you got to get the way some props because their fashion is always spot on the way that they do it.
Yes, the way is great right now. I am enjoying the way.
I love it.
Not even gonna lie. All right, then you have your defending champion of Karrion Kross come out here. So
and here's what you heard.
You heard a little bit. You heard more than Raquel, but not
a lot.
No,
more than Raquel, but he definitely. I want to see this. I want to see because he never. How'd he do? Well, my answer was given. They could give a shit about Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I mean Yeah.
Oh, not good. Not
lots
a good sign.
Lots of little things there. So, but this match was great. It had damn near everything you could imagine in a match. So it had super kicks. Like I still love it when I'm losing his name.
Gargano.
Cole super kicks Gargano in the face. He spins around. He super kicks with the back of the head, and then he goes for his knee shining the shiny wizard on the back of the head. Gargano ducks and then gets him, like he's trying to put him into his submission. Like it just had all sorts of good stuff there. Karrion Kross got double power bomb by Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly onto the announcer's desk. And
they're both outside. They stop and stare at each other for like a split second and then go. And they both go towards Karrion Kross.
It was great. It had great pace. It had great storytelling, which you love pace. I love storytelling.
I love the pacing.
And it had big spots all over the place.
And you had this switching because all 5 of these guys, whether you like or don't like any one of these people, all 5 of them are very much, I would say, at the top of their game right now. They're all probably as good as they're going to be right now. And you could tell because they were able to, they kept like rotating and doing double teams and switching double teams and switching this and that. And then he turns on him and he does this and he does that. And using a person as a weapon or a projectile, and then different people do, and then they all gang up on Cross and get him out of the way, and then they pair off, and then they triple off, and then they go just a great way around it. Gargano got murdered halfway through it. Cross picked him up on the outside and went to like power bomb him or whatever onto, or like it's a double choke bomb as well, double hand choke bomb onto the apron, and I heard the thud from Kansas City. It was like, wow.
Yes. It was, like it had fast pace all over it. There was a spot where Cross did a double side suplex with Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God. Well, the finish comes with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are in the middle of the ring, and Kyle O'Reilly.
Did you say picks? You didn't say picks.
Oh,
you didn't say
shit.
Picks.
Sorry. We're actually back on picks. I forgot to do the picks on the previous match, too.
Well, okay.
So we all picked Raquel Gonzalez to retain.
We all got that. So we go into this match before you get to the picks.
Yes.
So we go into this match that Jamie and Meagan both have 4. I have 3.
Yes.
And depending on what happens with this match can vastly change our outcome.
Yes.
So I'll just go ahead and say, because I had Adam Cole. Meagan and Jamie both chose Karrion Kross. So if Adam Cole wins, we have a 3-way tie. We go to the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker that we all determined was at the time of this match.
Yes.
The main event, give a time. I don't know why we didn't do time last time. That's the best way to do a tiebreaker. So
Yes.
So that's our tiebreaker. So if Adam Cole wins, we're all tied up. If anybody else wins, period, it doesn't matter who it is. If anybody else wins, Jamie and Meagan are tied, regardless. If Cross wins or if Kyle O'Reilly or Pete Dunne, doesn't matter, because I'll have 2 losses, they'll have 1 at worst. So if anybody else wins, they have a tiebreaker between the 2 of them. That's where we stand going into this.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Perfect. So we get to the end, and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are in the middle of the ring, and cool guy Kyle O'Reilly gets Adam Cole into a heel lock, and then Adam with his other leg was kicking Kyle in the chest. Well, Kyle grabs that leg and does a double heel hook on both of them.
Good.
It looked great. And, dude, Adam Cole was so close to tapping. And then out of nowhere, out of the ashes, here comes Karrion Kross. And he puts Kyle O'Reilly into a rear naked choke, which he calls the cross jacket, I guess. That's what somebody called it on Twitter a couple times.
I'm
okay.
better with that than the stupid forearm shiver.
Yeah, so he gets Kyle O'Reilly into a rear naked choke, the cross jacket, whatever you want to call it, and he's holding it there, and Kyle's fading. He lets go of Adam Cole. Adam Cole is like reaching at his leg instead of trying to do anything. Kyle O'Reilly goes completely out. Karrion Kross retains. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a perfect card and Meagan have a perfect card, so it's definitely going to come down to time. But we got perfect cards on NXT. And the fun fact about this, ladies and gentlemen, Meagan has not watched NXT in over 6 weeks.
Wow. this that's why I say was this a litmus test with the crowd in the hand, because it was 5 matches, somewhat predictable, the finish of them, whatever.
Mhm.
I say that as a man who got 2 of the matches wrong, I know. But and here's the thing, at the end of it, like I said, the crowd was just not behind. It got done and they were not behind Cross at well. I couldn't get over that. It ended with them. They're just kind of like, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Like, I think his lack of a finisher and like all of his matches are Japanese strong style. Like, that's how he wrestles, is Japanese
Yeah.
strong style. And the United States, the typical United States fan doesn't dig it.
He's got this super thematic entrance, which is great for the pandemic with no fans in the crowd. He doesn't play to them at all. They don't really know of him unless they watched Impact before or they watch other stuff,
He
so
was great there. I like Killer Cross.
he wasn't, but but he was. He wasn't this. He wasn't. His character was different. It was, in ring the same, but his character was a little bit different. His character had some more flavor, for lack of a better word, as opposed to this, which is just like the mysterious, murder monster who comes out with the angel of death.
Yeah, he had a little bit of slap your mama on him.
He did, and that plays a lot better. And when he gets out there and talks, I actually don't mind it because he's decent behind the mic.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you get though with him for most of the time. So
I bet
it is.
after this small sample size, there's going to be revamps
There's
coming
be
to his
a little
character.
tweak. There
Because
should be, and I hope so.
They need to figure out a way to shorten his entrance. Like, maybe he only does big entrances on the pay-per-views, which would be good.
Big
but
ones, yeah.
he needs just a little work. Like, I love me some Scarlett Bordeaux, but Scarlett Bordeaux needs to be in the ring wrestling. I get that she's the angel of death. Well, then have her wrestle then.
And I don't know if maybe I can't say maybe she doesn't want to wrestle anymore. That could be it. I don't know. Maybe that's not what she was signed for. Maybe they didn't, because you know how WWE sometimes is like. I mean, shit. WWE wanted to sign Thunder Rosa as a referee.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So I can't. I'm not going to speak to any, but I agree with you. I think she should be wrestling because she's not Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa and Io Shirai, but she's good enough. She's better than a lot of.
She's
other
middle.
ones out there.
She's middle of the road. She's Lacey Evans.
She definitely. So we'll see what happens. I think that definitely needs to be some adjustment there. I think they know they know they've got something the fans like in Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. That feud's gonna go on for a hot minute.
Oh,
right?
I'm actually looking forward to that. I hate to say it. Like,
I told you, the two of them together is actually magic.
I love me
would
some
like
LA
it.
Knight. So that's the thing. I love LA
Yeah,
Knight.
I know.
I just don't like this stupid hillbilly. I just got money all of a sudden, and to the moon shit.
But you can get behind the feud because you like the other guy, and they put on a good show.
They work well
it's
together.
A good thing.
Like,
they
and
work
that's
so
the
good.
thing. Yeah,
so good.
Match of the night for
So
me.
good
I'm
together.
sorry, still match of the night.
Yeah, so there's that. I mean, MSK, definitely we know we got stars there in MSK. Bronson Reed, same thing. Legato, same thing.
They got
really.
a good pop too.
They're over too, And the women, they got to make some adjustments. Raquel might need some stuff. We have to do some different things with that. The Mercedes and Tion Shah and Zia Ali and whoever the fuck else,
Meng Ying.
Meagan, that got a little bit of pop, but it definitely Zia Ali got more. We didn't see other women out there, so we don't know. But and we know that everybody else in the main event, everybody loves them. But Karrion Kross, you got to do some tweaking. So
yeah, so
it's good for them to find that out.
So Tuesday, you'll see a lot of new storylines coming, and I'm hoping we see a little bit of Frankie Monet finally asserting herself, getting in there. Maybe one of their other developmentals gets up there, Cora Jade or Priscilla Kelly, whatever her name is now.
Gigi Dolan.
Yeah, Gigi Dolan. Love me some of her. So they have the talent.
I don't like
there.
her character.
I like Priscilla Kelly. I don't like whatever this is.
I like Priscilla Kelly's character. But sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to get off tangent.
Hell's favorite harlot. I love that version of her.
But she was a little vulgar for WWE, so yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the tampon thing. But anyway, So that is the card. That's everything.
All right.
Megan,
So it ends.
Megan and I are perfect.
You see here, so they're perfect, and I'm out of it now. So I'm, I put my money on Cameron Grimes, and I thought for sure Adam Cole. So whatever, what you gonna do? So down to the Faulkners. Jamie is your defending NXT champion, as you know.
Absolutely.
And so he wants to keep that belt because Megan already stole one belt from us tonight. From my grimy hands. So we'll be beltless if she gets this one too. So we got to prevent it. The only way we can do that is with our tiebreaker. Now our tiebreaker was once again time.
Yes.
So my time doesn't matter. And so I'll tell you, Jamie came in, and we all thought this match was going to go long-ish. So we also, over 30 minutes, Jamie was going for like a marathon, He was basing it a lot off of the TakeOver matches which were super long, like the 45-minute unsanctioned thing and stuff. So he said 37:46. Megan came in just a little bit behind that, 32 minutes and 15 seconds. Quick reminder, closest to the time. Over under doesn't matter. So if it's like 34, we'll do some math. We'll figure it out. I didn't have to because using my trusty stopwatch on my phone, the match came in at 26 minutes and 15 seconds.
Damn it!
Which means Megan wins the belt.
I'm talking to you as the advocate.
She just stole your belt. You don't have to be her advocate, okay?
For the rating.
She stole your belt.
Defending undisputed AEW and NXT pay-per-view champion, Meagan Faulkner.
I'm going to bury her for Slammiversary next month, though. There's no way she's going to beat me at Slammiversary.
You never know, man.
If she does, I don't even know. Here's our records.
Us.
We have our new records, as you see. One of them is super embarrassing. That's me. And somebody's at 500. That's not any of us. That's Megan. She's, like I said, she did this for years just to demolish us, and we couldn't figure out how.
She's their demographic, man.
I guess that's it. I mean, because you might think, oh well, she doesn't know wrestling. It's like one of those people from the Office pool who just picks colors of. No, she watches wrestling. She watches AEW all the time.
She knows her shit, and
she goes to all the shows with us whenever they come to town.
I feel like a proud father at this moment because the student has become the master.
It's your daughter, at least. Yeah, I just feel like I don't even know what I feel like. I keep getting beat. I'm getting beat up by a 14-year-old girl on my wrestling podcast. That's what's happening.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely worth a retweet right there.
I cannot get around it. That's the truth of the matter. So that was TakeOver, guys.
We may need to get her on here just as a guest to tell us how she picks wrestling because she kicks our ass all the time.
If she beats us on Slammiversary, yes, most definitely.
Yes, we'll need to get.
I'm like Slammiversary is my chance to get there. You and I, we know some Impact. I don't think she's gonna know these people at all.
You'd be freaking surprised.
I'd be surprised. I have no idea. She's probably gonna beat us for that.
But I mean, SummerSlam is right around the corner.
We got SummerSlam coming up.
So we do have SummerSlam, so she could again be the two-time Triple Crown champion. The only one of us who's been the Triple Crown champ.
The only one, and the only one that's got a shot right now because she's got them both. And AEW's off pay-per-views until September, so she's got that until September. NXT, we don't know when their next big takeover is going to be, so probably same thing. Probably halfway between SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, whatever. That's where we're at. So we're beltless, but we still had a good time. Oh,
yes.
let's do a quick rating and then we'll wrap up here.
Yeah.
I'll go first. So TakeOver, I'm going to give it. I'm not one to. I'm conservative with my ratings. Usually, I'm like, hold on, you just saw it, don't go too far. That being said, I'm giving this a Spotfest. I don't know if it was a combination of having some fans in the audience, but for the most part, other than the Gonzalez and even the Gonzalez Ember Moon match was a pretty decent match. I just wasn't into it. every match on here was great. The ladder match was fantastic. MSK and Bronson were great against Legato. I loved every minute of that main event, except for the very end, just because I wanted Adam Cole to win.
Yeah.
I thought the extra stuff they had was great. It wasn't too intrusive. I loved it. I give it a spot fest.
I'm going to agree with you. I think it's a spot fest as well. And
okay.
I know sometimes I am a little bit more generous, but no, I think this one had a lot of everything I wanted. It definitely did open my eyes to the ability to Cameron Grimes a little bit more. I knew he could go before, but my hatred was so thick and I just couldn't see through it. And he might have won me over at least a little bit to being open to the concept now.
Athletically.
Yes. Like he did so well. Like I'm not even lying. He did so well that, I might not hate him completely.
Might
now.
not hate him
Just
as
mostly.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not completely. It's mainly mostly now. And you know what? Thick Boy and MSK did work. And I want to bring back Thick Boy. That's all I know. Like Thick Boy.
Bring back Thick Boy. Yes, indeed. So that's what we got. We'll be back tomorrow with our regular podcast. We'll be back again on Thursday as well because AEW is still doing the stuff on the weekends here. They got this Friday, and then I think it's 2 Saturdays in a row. Then hopefully back to Wednesday nights.
Oh, please, I'm over.
I know. It's just we'll talk about it tomorrow. So our Tuesdays are going to be more the AEW focus, and then we'll talk some more news in NXT on our Thursdays. Just FYI, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow, though. Follow us on Twitter if you want. You can follow us individually as well. I am at JMoney1536. He is at JFaulkner56. We are at Total Spotfest. I'm supposed to make an Instagram too if you want to follow that, but I didn't do it this weekend. Whatever.
That's fine. Yeah.
But if you do like what you see, give us a comment down below. Tell us what you think. Did you like this as much as we did? Did you think that having the fans back was good? Was there any surprises like Cross not getting over, or Raquel definitely not getting over, or Cameron Grimes getting over? Let us know what you guys think. So we will see you next time. Thank you for your time. Jebby, why don't you take us home?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with TSL, I got 4 words for you. Bring back Thick Boy.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.